Watch this next video for some spooky jewelry ideas. Today I'm going to teach you how to build ghost tassel earrings just in time for Halloween. My inspiration came from just a simple silk tassel, and if you just add a couple of little seed beads, they look like ghosts. Let's go over the tools and materials we'll need for this project. We're going to need some silk cord, and this is beadsmith size FFF, but any silk cord will work. Hypo cement for your knot, 2 10mm jump rings that open, and a pair of ear wires. I used 8/0 seed beads in gunmetal iris, scissors and cardboard, knot cutters or a thread cutter, flat nose plier, and chain nose plier. These tweezer nose pliers work really well. Okay, so let's get started. First, we're gonna cut our cardboard, and this will determine the length of your earrings. So here you can see I used this piece of cardboard to make these tassels, and it's about 3 inches long, and I just used a pair of scissors to cut it to size. Cardboard's really nice because it is flexible, so when you're pulling your tassel off, you'll see why that's a really, really great thing to have, is that flexibility. So as I said, I cut my cardboard, and now I'm gonna start wrapping silk. And on those earrings, I actually used this really pretty kind of silver color, but I think for this pair, I'm gonna use this kind of ivory color. This is a brand new spool, so I'm just gonna cut it open. And I'm gonna start wrapping. I like to go 50 times around for the base of my tassel, so I'm just gonna start doing that and counting. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 48, 49, 50. Okay, so now I've got 50 wraps on the front and back. I'm just gonna set that down and cut my silk down here. Now I'm gonna add another little extra wrap with my 2 little eyeballs on it. So just cut about 1.5 feet of the silk, or 2 feet. Just enough to go around the cardboard a couple more times. And get out your little seed beads. You can really do any color for the eyes, but I thought these were cute. This was a cute little color, and they should go right onto your silk. So basically, I'm gonna go here with one, and then wrap this back around my cardboard and up. Put on another bead here. And bring that back down around. So I basically just added a couple extra wraps to that tassel, and you can see my little eyeballs just kind of hanging out, floating around. And just make sure you have those loose cords all down there together. If you lose track, it can be hard to find them again, and everything can get kind of disheveled. Another tip is sometimes I'll cut a little slit in the side of my cardboard to kind of anchor those end cords, but I'm not gonna do that today. Okay, so now we're going to tie a small knot on this side of the cardboard. And once again, I'm just gonna cut another small length of the silk. about a foot long. And if you have tweezers or these tweezer nose pliers, this is a really great time to use them because you're going to slide it under all of the cords. And they can be kind of hard to lift up. So once you've done that, kind of straighten it out. And we're just going to tie a knot right under our eyeballs. And I'll pull the earring here, so just kind of keep in mind this will be where that cord is. Just tie a knot. You might have to hold it with one finger while you tie the other half. Okay, so he's starting to form. You can see that. And just tie a knot. We'll get back to that in a moment. Grab one of your jump rings. And if it's not open, you'll just need to grab a couple pairs of pliers and twist it open. And then we're going to slide this onto our ghost in the area just above the eyeballs. Just going to turn this to the side. And if you need to, you can squeeze it in just where the knot is that you just made. Sometimes that's helpful. And then slide it up. Actually, I'm just going to close it right there and then slide it up after it's closed. So these are the two cords that are from that little knot here, and then everything else is just part of this ghost. Now I'm going to slide it off of the cardboard. And I like to keep these two pieces pretty separate just because we're going to be tying another knot with them. And if they get lost, it can be hard to find them. But it's not the end of the world. You can still just use whatever cord, but I like to keep them separate. So now you're going to bend your cardboard just a little bit and carefully slide him off. And kind of just gather those cords. And you can see I still have those two cords to the side, and if there's anything loose going on, you can just kind of lightly pull on those long ones because you know those are your eyeball cords. Okay, now with those two extra pieces up here, we're going to wrap around where we made the previous tie. And leave enough to tie another knot in the back. And then you're going to flip them over. I usually tie 2 knots, and then I'll grab my hypo cement and do a little dot of glue. So we're almost done. Now all we have to do is trim the bottom and trim the little piece that we just glued. I'll go ahead and trim that part, even though you might want to let it dry longer when you're doing this at home. I love this knot cutter because it gets right up there and gives you a smooth cut. And it's okay if the knot shows a little bit, I think. It's not going to disappear. And at this point, I'm going to grab my scissors and go ahead and trim those longer pieces and just get into those little loops. And if you want to make him a little shorter or whatever you want to do here, you can. I always tend to go a little longer when I make my tassels, just because you can always cut them to length. The last step is just to add this ear wire to the jump ring, and you're going to grab your flat nose plier and just open that little loop on your ear wire, and then slide it onto your jump ring. And close it back up. So now you're done. All right, so let's go back over the tools and supplies we used for this project. We used flat nose pliers and tweezer nose chain nose pliers and a knot cutter, 8/0 seed beads for the eyes, a pair of ear wires, and 10mm jumps. We used silk cord, and if you're curious, it's size FFF, but any silk cord will work. We used a dot of hypo cement and cardboard and scissors. If you need to pick up any of the tools or supplies we used today, check out the links in the description below. What's your favorite kind of Halloween jewelry to make? Let us know in the comments, and while you're there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. So now that you know how to make ghost tassel earrings, you can say, I made this.